God dang, look at those things shake. All right, so we here today with a ZZZ build. Now this is gonna be different than the other builds that y'all see because I do my things a little bit differently. So you definitely want to stay tuned always. And anyway, let's get right into it. Now, I'm gonna just give a trigger warning right now. I'm gonna mispronounce her name like crazy, but Yixuan, whatever it is, she's the new character. She's basically Manabi 2.0. Well, to be honest, I think, in my opinion, I think she's a little bit worse than Manabi, but we'll get into that later. And she has a different, unique thing that she does now, which we'll get into when we get to that part of the video. But anyway, let's get into her animations. So we got her here, and one of the new things is that she got a different way of moving. When you dash with her, she end up holding on to a bird that is like barely, I don't know how she keeping all that thing up, especially on that internet. Anyway, other than that, the way that she works is she has this thing which is called shear damage. She's a shear damage unit, but at the end of the day, the dumber version of things is that shear damage is also ether damage. So you can put her in when the ether is weakness, you can put her in there. It will count as the same thing. But anyway, other than all that, when you fight, basically her E has an ability where it can counter attacks. Like if we let this hit me and I hold my E, it can counter. Or also, if you bang, that's another counter. As you can see, it counter attacks. So that's one thing. But the main thing you're gonna be doing with her, other than countering attacks, is you gonna be just smashing that freaking button. Okay, you're gonna be mashing the attack button because this is the best thing you could do for her. To be honest, this is the thing you're gonna be doing the most. And then when you need a counter, you'll counter, and then that's it for the basic of it, right? And before we even go on, I do want to make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to share the video because I'm trying something new here. And also, we literally are 87 away from 500. Remember, if we get 1.5 within a little bit more days, you see the ticker down there, then that means that I got to do a cosplay for y'all. But anyway, let's get right back into it. So the other thing that she can do is if you hold this, she basically does trigram 64 palms. Like, I'm going to be honest, it looks just like it. I love this character because it reminds me of Naruto. I'm gonna be real. As you can see, you can keep doing it. And as you can see, what it uses up is the energy bar that she has to use it. I think it used like 40 or something like that. But basically, either you can use that to dodge, or you can also use it to do the circle. As you can see, when you hold it and you don't have it, as you can see, she's not gonna be able to do the circle anymore because she can't. And the thing with the round rotation thing is it does extra damage to enemies that are stunned. So you definitely want to, you definitely want them to be stunned when you do it. But at the end of the day, to be honest, the thing that does the most damage is her counter. So you'll probably be using that anyway. But other than that, you also have, as you see, that yin and yang symbol up there. Now, this one thing that is especially unique to her, which is she basically has two alts. She has one alt where when that thing fills up, she can use the alt, as you can see right here, which is this. And she also has another alt where when she get 3,000 decibels, she also do a thing, which I will show y'all right now. You can see we have unlimited decibels, and then this is the other alt. Which I think looks way more cooler, to be honest. Every time she has 3,000, obviously you can see you can do it over and over again. Those is like the basic skills, like the most that you'll need to learn. To be honest, you don't really need, like, if you want a more in-depth guide, you can go watch somebody else. But anyway, let's get into her skills, what you want to level up, and what gear you should put on her. Subscribe. And also I got a channel membership too, so just in case you want to, just in case you want to, check that out too. Anyway.
Swift yet still, clear yet murky.
And just like I was talking about earlier, as you can see, it's literally just ether damage. It obviously isn't peak, based on ether or Arctic Link or whatever it's called. Yeah, ether damage. Anyway, so her skills, basically, the way you want to upgrade these is literally, you want to make sure this is going to be max, obviously. And then after that, you want to make sure this is max, her alt, and then her E special, because you're going to use her E a lot. You're going to use her alt a lot. Wow, I wonder why. And then you can do the fist, like, for a basic attack as well, because you are kind of using her basic attack when you fighting with her most of the time. She loves to be on the field, so obviously she's going to be using her base attack a lot if she don't have her E or her alt, right? But other than that, these two you don't really have to worry about that much, but you can also upgrade them later on if you want. if you want to go for a perfect 10, like 12, 12, 12, 12, 12 or whatever. But anyway, the main things to focus on is this, the alt, and the EX special. And then also the second main thing to focus on is the fist. And then the third thing main to focus on is the dodge and the assist. But anyway, other than that, let's get into the gear that you want on her. Now, when it comes to gear, literally is only a couple of gears that's good on her. Obviously, the 4-piece is her best in slot. It's literally made for her. It literally has a swing thing on it. Who else would it be made for? But anyway, other than that, you got two engines that actually are pretty good for her. Obviously, her signature is good, but if you're going free to play, then you would just go with the puzzle spear. You can craft it, you can get it to 60. It gives you extra crit damage for 12 seconds. And then it's the only thing about this one is that it's kind of not really useful in what is called like defense, whatever it's called, like where you fight the enemies and they have infinite health, because as you can see, when the target is below 50% of their max HP, EX special does extra damage, but they'll never be 50% of their max HP because they always have infinite HP. They have infinite HP. You just trying to get points over and over and over again, right? But anyway, other than that, now based on your stats, you kind of want to go for either a 2-piece, which I went for. Me personally, I went for the 2-piece branch and blade, mainly because I needed the crit damage. I already had enough crit rate. Like, she gets a lot of crit rate, so you really don't need crit rate, but if you wanted to, you can. But I went with this one, and you can also, if you didn't want to go with that one, you can go for crit rate just in case you need more crit rate, right? You can go for woodpecker for the +8. And then let's say that you didn't want to use neither one of those, you could also go for the chaotic metal for ether damage. And the way you want to build her is, obviously, you want attack percent, you want crit damage and crit rate. You really want a lot of crit stats. So crit stats are the best for her. So you want crit damage, crit rate, you want attack percent, and then the rest of the stuff go down at the end of the day over that. You want some HP as well, because some of her abilities do scale off of HP too. But anyway, her slot right here, right? Okay, so her slot 4, you want crit rate or crit damage depending on how your substats going. Right there, slot 5 is always going to be ether damage. All right, and for the last one here, you want HP, and it would always be HP, to be honest. Like 9 out of 10 is always going to be HP. But anyway, other than that, let's go to the basic attack. Because also, by the way, when you're doing your crit, do remember that this also gives you 12 crit anyway. Because when using EX special, which you're going to be using a lot, we could just stop right there when we're reading that, to be honest. Crit rate increases by 4 of the 3 stacks, which is 4, 8, 12. So you already got 12 that you're going to keep in mind, plus the amount you got here. So I got 62 plus 12, which is 74%. And then you see my crit damage is 109. You really want a 1-2 ratio when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, yeah, it is what it is. Now, other than that, do also keep in mind that since I'm rocking this engine, when I'm playing against other things, that crit goes up to like 125. But at the end of the day, you really want a 1-2 when it comes to that. Now, other than all of that, as you can see, we got sheer force. Your sheer force comes from a percentage of your attack, I believe. Yeah, so your sheer force comes from a percentage of your attack. So whatever your attack is, it takes a percentage of that, and then it makes it into sheer force, which is one of the new things, I guess, that she can do. And also, I believe the Panda can do as well, and probably not gonna send anybody from the summit can do. Okay, we gonna be real. But anyway, other than all of that, her teams is actually, so her teams is pretty easy, to be honest. Her and Panda go together. Literally, he's made for her. Literally, he's made for her. There's nothing else I can say with that. He's made for her. And 9 times out of 10, the stunner, because you also want the stunner so that way you can stun them so you can do more damage with the circle, yada yada, right? I'm gonna be real with y'all. The stunner is probably gonna be the character that's coming out next. So her team is already gonna be set within the first patch, which is kind of sad because I don't know how I'm gonna get her. But anyway, the stunner, that's how it's set. Guys, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, by the way, just a reminder. But now, right now, if you don't want to use, like, let's say you got both of them, then you also can use Astra Yao, or if you want to use somebody else, like any other stunner in the game can work. Even freaking her, which is actually, I use her a lot, so that's what I would do. I would run a team something like this, but at the end of the day, I like using Astra Yao a lot. But if you really wanted to, you could just run her on any team. She kind of is strong. She's about the same level as Manabi, probably a little bit less. I don't think she as OP as Manabi though, or she could be with when she get her perfect team, right? Like how Manabi got a perfect team now, she would need a perfect team as well. But anyway, other than all of that, that is my guide to Yixuan, whatever her name is pronounced. But anyway, other than that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to share the video. If y'all want more of this, let me know. If y'all got, if I missed anything, and put it down in the comment section below, so that way other people can know as well. And other than that, she got some thick thighs, and I'll see you guys in the next video.